Hello, hello, hello. It's coffee time, and it's gone a bit dark. I think it's gone a bit murky. We look at the news. We look at the news. First up, sports news. Yeah, there's been the whole of Turkish football has been suspended. Yeah, it's been suspended because of what happened on last night. It's quite shocking footage, but I'll show you it and then we'll explain. I'll show you the vid first and then we'll explain what's going on and why Turkish football is cancelled. Here we go. Oh, it all kicked off. As you can see, it was a violent incident there. And as a result, Turkish football is cancelled. He's got a right shiner on him, the ref. A right shiner. Ooh. So yeah, what you saw there was referee Halil Umut Mela be attacked by MKE Angaraku. It's all Turkish. I'm going to mangle this. I'm ever so sorry if anyone's Turkish watching this. The president, Faruk Koka, launching a vicious attack on the ref after his side drew 1-1 against Kaykur Rizepur in the Super League. And as a result, the whole of Turkish football has been suspended. And and here's President Erdogan visiting the injured ref in hospital, and the referee blamed himself. He actually he's taking. He says it was his fault, and he was punched in the face and kicked in the head, and he was, again, as he fell to the ground, multiple people kicked him. But yeah, as he was escorted away by riot cops, he said it was his fault, and now the country's football federation has shut down the league entirely. I mean, it's quite shocking. One of the referees, Arda Kadesla, spoke to the press and said, "Everyone saw what happened last night. Our federation, MHK, stated they will support us in every decision we make in the instant of a postponement of the league. Our only priority right now is Halil Umut Mela's health and reunion with his family. We stand by him. When he regains his health, we will come together as Turkish referees and announce the decision we will make regarding our future and career." Turkey has been totally rocked by the incident, with the league set for a week-long suspension. And again, this is like a slow motion still of the punch, and it looks like his face has been made of Play-Doh. I mean, that's such as the impact the poor guy faced. I mean, it's not on, is it? And there's another angle of the punch. He really clocks it. It was a right sucker punch coming out of left field. Not good. You don't sucker punch people like that. And there's the real follow through. You can see the anger and the viciousness on his face. So yeah, let's hope he recovers, and hopefully the guy responsible is held to account. I mean, it's just shocking behaviour. Meanwhile, the NHS news. What the hell? Are you proud of the NHS? Did you bang your pots and pans during the COVID? Do you remember when was it Thursday night? I don't know. I never took part because I'm too cool for that. I sat indoors doing this because they would have heard me just as much as the pots and pans. But yeah, there's a new report compiled by researchers at the Institute of Global Health Innovation at Imperial College, and they've examined data on 38 developed countries, and they've arranged their health services in order, and they focused on 4 key patient safety indicators in the rankings: maternal mortality, treatable mortality, adverse effects of medical treatment, and neonatal disorders. And how did we do? And this is the map, and oops. This is the map of the services, and see Norway's at the top, and we're there. We're under Belgium, of course. Belgium. Never trust a Belgian, but we're above Poland, so that's because we steal all the workers from Poland to work in the United Kingdom. And at the very bottom is Mexico. So there you go. But so we're doing a bit better, but not as good as everyone else. So we're kind of we're middling. We're middling. NHS. So if you're feeling ill, don't go to hospital. It's just full of more sick people. Who wants to be around sick people? Nobody does. But meanwhile, this young fella, Cameron Johnson, is he's stunning doctors because of his pulse. Yeah, he has what he claims to be the world's slowest pulse. They've measured it, and sometimes it can drop as low as 22 beats per minute. Here he is, having a run. I imagine his heart must be racing there, mustn't it? It must be. But yeah, he has a very low heart rate and dizzy spells. But you know, the 24-year-old doesn't let it stop him. He still goes running, goes cycling, plays football, and takes up sport. And in September, doctors confirmed what they thought by hooking him up to an ECG machine for 24 hours and monitoring his heart rate, and it's quite remarkable. He says he only recently got fully checked for his condition, and a cardiologist officially logged his heart rate as being in the low 30s. Now, again, if it drops below, I've got one of these heart monitor things. It says if it drops below 59, you know, you're in danger of passing out. You know, so alarm bells only rang with this July when Mr. Johnson's pulse was taken by his GP. Started by the readings, the doctor called an ambulance because they didn't want him driving home. And paramedics advised him to wear something to tell people that his heart rate is normally that low, in case he became unresponsive in the future. He spoke, he said, doctors said it's fine. Sometimes I struggle to believe it, but they say it's healthy and nothing to be concerned about. Really? And yeah, his incredible 22 BPM rate was logged when doctors hooked him up to an ECG for 20 hours in September. It showed his average heart rate was 30 BPM and drops as low as 22. But a normal heart rate ranges between 60 to 100 BPM depending on activity levels. A low heart rate, typically below 60, can be a sign of a problem with the heart's electrical system, and it's known as bradycardia, and it can cause fainting and tiredness. But however, a slow heart rate can be normal for athletes. For example, Sir Bradley Wiggins and Mo Farah's recorded terrestrial heart rate is 35 BPM and 33 BPM respectively. There you go. Slow heart rate. There you go. At least he's got a heart. Not like me. I've got a swinging brick, haven't I? Meanwhile, we've got court news. And this fella, this is Philip Christian. Here he is. He's been in court. He's looking a bit glum because he's heard the result. He was in court claiming that he wrote a significant song from the musical Cats by Andrew Lloyd Webber. Yeah, he claims he penned the words and melody to the song that eventually became Memory, and it's one of the main songs from the musical. I think it was a hit for Elaine Page back in the day. And he alleged that a recording of his song was overheard by a member of one of Lloyd Webber's other productions who recited it to him in the run-up of the production of the musical. And Mr. Christian sued Lloyd Webber and lyricist Sir Trevor Nunn for breach of copyright at a hearing in the High Court in London last week and demanded future royalty payments. But Judge Master James Brightwell threw out the fanciful and entirely hopeless, that's the quote, claim, and said Mr. Christian had failed to produce a copy of the song, which he said he'd written and which would have been used for the musical. He continued, I find it inherently incredible that a dancer could, in the context of both the entrance hall and to the dance studio, have remembered word for word the lyrics of a song and melody and been able to communicate them at a later point to Andrew Lloyd Webber. It seems the allegations made are entirely fanciful and entirely hopeless, and this claim cannot be allowed to continue any longer. Rights to the song are registered to Lloyd Webber and to Sir Trevor Nunn, but they also share the copyrighted words to the family of the poet T.S. Eliot, whose works it was based on. It's Rhapsody on a Windy Night, which was the inspiration again. It was based on his collection of poems about cats. So I guess they borrowed, adapted some of his poetry too. So yeah, he didn't win. It was a fanciful claim, and here's some people dressed as cats. Yeah, people again. When you say cats, people think of that awful movie where people were morphed into human cats with no bum holes. It's one of the big features of cats, isn't it? Is their bottoms. They didn't have any bottoms. How did they poop? How did they poop? That is the question we all need to know. Meanwhile, we've got more sweets cancelled. This is Nestle. Oh dear. This comes as customers have asked them. They were looking for certain products and getting in touch via social media on X. You'll all be doing it. Trust me, one day you'll all be doing it. And Nestle confirmed that these treats were no longer available, that they've discontinued them. What have they discontinued? Well, they've only gone and knocked it on the head for Polo Fruits. I didn't mind those back in. I ain't had a packet of those in years. I'll just have the mints. And of course, Polo gummies, which passed me by. I don't know if I've ever had Polo gummies. But there you go, 2 more sweets that have been axed. This time Nestle. So there you go. Meanwhile, who remembers Heather Mills? Probably most noted for marrying Paul McCartney as he was grieving for Linda and taking him to the cleaners for about, was it 23 million quid? That's not bad going, is it? Well, anyway, her vegan food company, V-Bites, has collapsed into administration. Now, the company had been running since 1993. It says here. It's funny because I've only heard about it today. Now, it's funny because Linda McCartney's range of vegetarian options are still going and fairly well known. But yeah, collapsed last night. She claims that dark forces within rival food industries undermined her company. And it's described here as one of the leading manufacturers of plant-based meat. Plant-based meat? It's not meat then, is it? It's plant-based meat substitute. And cheese. Plant-based cheese. Well, it's not cheese either, is it? Jesus Christ. Mangle it. Yeah? I mean, this is how ludicrous, vegetarianism and veganism is, because they're always doing meat-flavoured vegetables. You never get any vegetable-flavoured meat, do you? You never get any chops tasting like Brussels sprouts, thank God. Burn it with fire. So yeah, she did a big statement. But she did reveal that she was stumped why her firm collapsed. I went there. I'm sorry. She shouldn't have broken Sir Paul's heart. That's it. I think we'll move on from that there. Oh, wait a minute. Did I do... issues with her V-Bites. Mind you, you never see Heather Mills and Nadine Dorries in the same room, do you? I mean, she has morphed into Nadine Dorries. I'm sure of it. And issues with Sir Paul. She was a model, you know. She made her career doing saucy stuff, saucy pictures. I remember back in the day, they published them, didn't they, in the Sun? Don't look at me. It was the Sun. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything. What else have we got here? Have we got any more? Meanwhile, judges have been given the okay to use AI to help them in their work. Yes. Guidance has been issued to thousands of judges in England and Wales. The Judicial Office said the tool can be used to summarising large amounts of text. Yeah, they can use chat tools like ChatGPT to help them churn out their legal documents. Back in September, Lord Justice Burse, is that right? Is that his name? That looks like it should be Briss, and they've misspelt it. But anyway, this fella said he'd been using ChatGPT to summarise his cases because, you know, it's easier than doing it himself. Master of the Rolls, Sir Geoffrey Voss, said AI offers significant opportunities in developing a better, quicker, more cost-effective digital justice system. Okay. But I think they do have to be careful because earlier in the year, 2 New York lawyers were fined for using fake case citations generated by ChatGPT because, again, the software sometimes gets a little bit confused and can make up cases. So you've got to be careful. You've got to know you've got to know what you're doing. Meanwhile, this is something. A company called Smile Direct has gone bust. I've heard of them, but I didn't realise what it was. The US-based dentistry company. They sent you DIY braces that you could fit yourself in the post. Have they got any pictures of the product? Here we go. And it used to take between 4 and 6 months to use the treatment. You'd take a mould yourself, send it to them, and they'd send you the braces. I remember going to an orthodontist. Look what it did to me. Nothing. They took loads of teeth out, and there you go. So there's a picture of somebody putting a brace in. But yeah, so now everyone's going to be left looking like the Book of British Smiles. Simpsons reference. Yeah, it's quite expensive. I mean, Oliver Jones from Cambridge spent £1,639 for his treatment. However, everyone's been left in the lurch. I reckon the average cost was about £1,800 for the brace treatment. But the company's gone bust. They're not getting any more braces, but they're still expected to pay their direct debits, their bills, to pay them off. So that's not on, is it? Meanwhile, Tree News, we're going down to Torquay. This is Torbay Council. What they've done is where once you had the iconic palms of Torbay, locals woke up to find this. Yeah, they've cut them down. Councillor Adam Billings admit that the council had dropped the ball in telling the public about their plans. Many locals, they said that the palms are synonymous with the area, and they are, because they call it the English Riviera down there, don't they? And yeah, it's absolutely, again, this seems to be a thing. It seems to be a thing. Torbay Council responded and said the Palms had showed signs of significant degradation in the last 20 years and work was being carried out by its contractors to upgrade the site. And they confirmed that 40 trees have been felled, but more will be planted. But many residents were angry because there had been no consultation from the council over the decision. And you can see from the air, I mean, it's a real shame what they've done. I doubt they were going to fall on anyone. You know, they look like quite small palm trees, you know. But I heard last night that the similar thing, and this, I'm telling the missus this, in the park, they've taken down the remaining trees in the park, the ones that weren't blown down back in 1987, you know, with the great gust. Again, people going through the park last night saw contractors removing, the park in Millbrook. They're taking down remaining trees, which is a great shame to them in Jersey. Yeah. So it seems to be a thing everywhere. Everyone's got it in for the trees. Remember, save the planet, cut down a tree, or something like that. Meanwhile, what does your toast say about you? Well, my toast tells me that my toaster doesn't do what I want it to do. Very often, you'll set it, and then it'll burn it. And then you adjust it, and then it does nothing at all. Isn't it? Nothing at all. It's like you just get. But yeah, this is communication coach Judy James from London. She's speaking about what it means if you enjoy the taste of burnt or charred toast, and which butter application method is the sexiest. This is the Burton Bakery. They did a survey of 2,000 Britons to see what the most popular combo is, revealing that 30% enjoy medium well done mid-brown toast. Oh, God. I'm sure we've done this before. The self-comforter, the food flirt, the sensualist, the perfectionist, the immersive eater, and the dark destroyer. That is, just put it straight in the bin. You know, flush it down the toilet, cut out the middleman. I'm probably 2, possibly 3, you know. But 1 is what I sometimes get because our toaster is a load of cobblers. We need a new one. But yeah, how sensual do you get with the butter? So yeah, burnt. Judy says you're part of the 1% who likes it burnt black, and you show a desire to control things in life. Au contraire, I think if you let your toast get burnt, you are the kind of guy that doesn't take control and just looks out the window, stares aimlessly out the window whilst the smoke alarm goes off. I'm done with that. That's just cobblers. Then we go on to butter. I'm losing the will to live. No, I'm not reading that. I'm just stopping there. This is nonsense. Nonsense, I tell you. Fuss and nonsense. Have we got anything else? Oh. Meanwhile, Putin could deploy nukes in Ukraine. Nah, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. We'll just ignore it. It'll go away. Now this is an odd one. This is we're coming to France, right? There's a big thing in France at the moment. After a teacher has been left in fear of her life, right? This is at Jacques Cartier School in Issy, west of Paris. Because she was doing an art class, and she showed a very famous. This is a very famous picture. It is Diana and Action by Giuseppe Cesari, the Italian, I think, Renaissance artist. Again, this is a very famous picture. She showed this to her art class. All right. It's where Actaeon, the hunter, disturbs Diana and her nymphs as they're bathing. Again, the idea of the male gaze, isn't it? In art, there's a lot. No, we're not going to do art theory because that's boring. Don't come across as pretentious, you know. You're not the Alan Sewell of prog, are you? Anyway, she showed it to her class, and of course, there are Muslim pupils in the art class, and she's now in fear of her life. Following the class, false posts circulated on social media accusing the teacher of making racist comments, which fueled anger further. And this has caused other teachers to strike and refuse to go into the school until the situation is calmed and resolved. Now, this comes shortly after, was it last Friday? French court convicted 6 teenagers for their role in the 2020 beheading of Samuel Paty outside the secondary school near Paris. That's when he was beheaded by a radicalised Islamist. He was stabbed and beheaded in October 2020, and that was 12 miles from the school that's featured here. And so teachers are now worried that they're going to face the same kind of aggression. I mean, again, they need to take control of this, but this is the problem when you introduce primitive, and I'm going to use that word, primitive religions into mainstream cultures. We do not live in the Stone Age. We do not stone people. We do not behead people. We don't throw people off of roofs for their way of life. And this is what happens. Religion, it's a fucking cancer. We need to get rid of it. This is the 21st century, for fuck's sake. It makes me so annoyed. It really does. Let's go a bit down market. Let's change tone. Let's change tone, shall we? We're going to Thailand. This is the story of convict Thanafat Mayot, right? He was being held. Right, he was a thief, and he was being held in prison. Right. But he was taken to the Bang Lamong Hospital, right, in Chonburi province on December the 6th, when he was suffering from, well, enlarged genitals. Really? Yeah, because there was penis enlargement injections that he was having, and they became infected. Right? Now, what the authorities didn't know is that his wife had smuggled a pair of steel cutters, and they used the tool to break restraints chained to the hospital bed while hiding behind the curtain dividers. And with a catheter still attached, he left the room on the 7th floor and was caught hobbling through the hospital. There he is, making a very slow getaway. Right? So there's the prisoner, and there he is, making his daring escape. He then took a lift to the ground floor and left the building through a window. But his escape was short-lived, as, despite the police looking for Mr. Big, well, somebody had to slip it in. They found him 28 hours later, hiding under a black bag while huddled on the rooftop of a hospital psychiatric ward less than 70 foot away from the surgical. The whole point of escaping is to get away from where you were. And so, yeah, he was arrested and charged for attempting to escape prison, and his wife was also charged. But I still want to know more about these penis enlarging injections. Oh, yeah, he had a pain from his manhood where silicone filler had been injected. He said, I'd had the penis enlargement operation before I went to jail, and it became infected, and I couldn't care for it. And I just saw this as an opportunity to escape from hospital because I wanted to see my wife again. Who said romance was dead, eh? She wanted to see little Thanafat, or big, I suppose it'd be big Thanafat, wouldn't it? Ah, dear. Okay, just... yeah. What else have we got? Just scrolling through, sorry. Just scrolling. Controversial move here. They're rebooting the Wombles. Why not? A number of the books are going to be adapted for radio, with Richard E. Grant as the narrator, and this is to mark 50 years since the stories first appeared on the BBC. Johnny Vegas is actually directing the episodes, but he's controversially axed Madame Cholet's French accent because he claims she's from Wimbledon. Yeah, but her name's Madame Cholet. Right? She might live in Wimbledon, but she's from France. He told he was speaking about the change. He said, we changed the accent of Madame Cholet from French. They were all essentially born in Wimbledon, and they were all more or less of that region. I just think it's... Do you know what it is? It's political correctness gone mad. But I'll tell you what will happen. Everyone is going to forget... That's Johnny Vegas and Richard Grant, by the way. Everyone's going to forget this version and always remember the version narrated by Bernard Cribbins. Always. Because that's it. I want my Madame Cholet French. And again, bad accents are perfectly fine. As we saw in the recent Doctor Who special. You can do a dodgy French or German accent. It's perfectly fine. Because I think Russell T Davies said it shows that the villain is a racist. And that's fine. I don't think that's how it works, Russ. I don't think that's how it works. But anyway, there you go. There you go. So much news. I could do so much today. But I'm not going to. So much. Oh, here we go. This is... where is this? This is in Doncaster, South Yorkshire. This happened at 7 p.m. on December the 6th. I've got to get it queued up. This is a car being stolen, and the owner tries to stop it, and blammo, takes him right into the wall. Let's watch that again. Get out my car, blammo. I mean, there you go. It's like, what about the wall? Is the wall okay? I don't think it's ever going to recover. The owner of the vehicle can be seen attempt to get back up before falling down with his injuries. And at the end of the video, the owner is seen limping back into the house. The male has contacted the South Yorkshire Police for comment, but there's no more details about the crime other than the CCTV footage that has been revealed. Yes. Meanwhile, we're going to Paul Griffiths, right? And he's got a problem. And his problem is his turkey. Called Lurky. Lurky the turkey? Surely not. I think you're a bit of a Berkey if you name your turkey Lurkey. He's saying, don't worry, it doesn't hurt you. Anyway, Paul Griffiths adopted the turkey 4 months ago for his wife, who's affectionately known as the crazy chicken lady. Chicken, turkey, they're different. Imagine serving chicken on Christmas Day instead of turkey. There would be uproar and outrage. But yeah, he also bought her 17 ducks and 3 chickens to keep at their farmhouse in Wisbeach in Cambridgeshire. So dog's grizzling. I don't know if she wants to come in or go out. I'll have a look. Wait a minute. I cannot concentrate with such grizzling. What are you doing? Stop grizzling. You coming in? No, you're staying out. Okay. I think she wanted to go in the kitchen. Anyway, but yeah, the 53-year-old and his daughter said the turkey has caused chaos at the home after becoming aggressive and chasing them around the garden. And he's decided that he wants to find a new home for the bird, which was also terrorising the chickens. So he's looking someone to adopt his turkey, but there's one proviso. Lurkey the turkey cannot be your Christmas dinner. What's the point? What's the point? Here's Mr. Griffiths with his dogs. So yeah, if you want a turkey purely for ornamental reasons and not for Christmas dinner, then get in touch with him, because Lurkey could be your turkey. He said, I tried to pick her up once. Instead of letting me do that, she basically pecked my face and I had a massive bruise on my upper lip. She was horrible. She would run up to you with her wings out. Obviously, turkeys are quite big animals, and she would try to attack you. And the turkey would also pick fights with other chickens. And as soon as you stepped into the garden, she was on you. Now, I think this is one turkey that deserves to be eaten for Christmas. There you go. But yeah, Dr. Viola Ross Smith of the British Trust for Ornithology said that a new owner would struggle to retrain Lurkey, as that ship has sailed. And she claims that there's already been a pecking order that's been set, and that the turkey Lurkey may think he's the top bird in the whole house. You know what they need to do? Tell him to get stuffed. I think I've done enough damage. Should we see if there's anyone in the chat? There's a whopping 5 people in. You're spoiling me. Jez is in. Payne goes, President Erdogan. It's Erdogan. Punch me in the face, says Jez. No worries, my fault. Yeah. Bradycardia is not a skill. It is for him. And he says, it's all alone with the memory of writing the song. And get memory, maybe I wrote this melody. And he adds, finding a good orthodontist is like pulling teeth. He's doing all the puns today. It's pun and gains. And he added, there's a nasty habit of councils cutting down trees. They don't seem to like him, do they? They like building car parks, but not trees. And Simon says, we don't want to offend the French now, do we? Oh, comme ci, comme ça, hoi, hoi, hoi. Again, I don't think it's a problem. Her name's Madame Chalet, and she had a French accent. She came. It's representation, isn't it? It's representation of the French. I mean, she wasn't a figure of fun, was she? Again, it's all about how you present that person. If they're a bumbling Frenchman wearing a beret and some onions and a black and white striped T-shirt, and they're often clumsy like Inspector Clouseau, they could get a little bit pissed with that, couldn't they? Get a little bit peeved. But if I don't see a problem with it. And Payne says, and he's going where I was going to go. I was going to list the rest of the Wombles, because if you remember, they're named after different places. Uncle Bulgaria, Tomsk, Tobermory, Orinoco, all from Wimbledon apparently. Exactly. They were all named after different place names. So political correctness gone mad. Gone mad it is. Anyway. The Wombles, like I said, it's gonna be forgotten, like that remake of the Famous Five that they've done. Couldn't stand the fucking Famous Five in the 70s. No one's gonna watch it now, no matter how hard they shove it in our viewing hole. We're not gonna watch it. Do you remember when they rebooted Wurzel Gummidge? Do you remember that? Big fun fit. They made like 3 episodes. Nobody watched it. They didn't make any more. Post-cultural society. Anyway, thank you for watching. That was the news. Killing the channel, one video at a time. You know, you've got to drink it up. Ta-ta.